If you were sealed in a room with no windows, no clocks, and no way to know the time, your body would ignore the 24-hour day. For decades, researchers like Jürgen Oshoff did exactly this, placing volunteers in underground bunkers. They found that cut off from the sun, the human body defaults to an internal cycle that is consistently longer than 24 hours, typically around 24.2 to 24.5 hours. This isn't a flaw, it's a fundamental feature. Your internal master clock, left to its own devices, wants to drift, to start each new day a little later than the last. This slight, persistent delay is the secret origin of your jet lag. This master clock isn't an idea, it's a physical place. Deep in your hypothalamus sit two tiny, rice grain-sized clusters of about 20,000 neurons called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN. This is your biological pacemaker. Light from your eyes travels directly to the SCN, telling it when to reset. But the SCN doesn't just receive signals, it generates its own rhythm. Each of those thousands of neurons is its own tiny clock, oscillating on a near 24-hour cycle. The SCN's job is to synchronize this entire orchestra of cellular timekeepers to the one giant clock in the sky, the sun. Resetting this clock isn't straightforward. The SCN follows a strict set of rules known as the phase response curve. Think of it like turning a heavy wheel. A blast of bright light in the morning, after your natural waking time, gives the wheel a hard push forward, advancing your clock and making you feel awake earlier. But the same bright light in the evening does the opposite. It pulls the wheel backward, delaying your clock and telling your body to stay awake later. Crucially, these two actions are not equal in strength. Your brain finds it much easier to pull the wheel backward than to push it forward. This asymmetry is where westward and eastward travel diverge. Your body's natural 24.2-hour cycle already wants to delay. So when you stay up a little later, you are working with your biology. It's the path of least resistance. This is why, for many, it feels easier to become a night owl than an early bird. Forcing yourself to wake up earlier, however, is a direct fight against this innate tendency. You are not only trying to shorten the day, but also pushing against a system that has a built-in bias towards lengthening it. You are trying to force a 25-hour clock into a 23-hour box. When you fly from New York to Los Angeles, you travel west and gain 3 hours. The sun sets later, the day becomes longer. Your task is to delay your internal clock by 3 hours to match the new local time. This is a task your SCN is naturally good at. Exposure to light in the late afternoon and evening in your new location gently pulls your circadian rhythm backward, aligning with its inherent desire to drift later. It's less of a shock and more of a guided adjustment in the direction your body already wants to go. Flying east is a biological shock. When you fly from Los Angeles back to New York, you lose 3 hours. The sun rises much earlier than your body expects. You now have to advance your clock to force your body to wake up, get hungry, and feel alert hours before it's ready. You're fighting the current. Your SCN is being told by the morning light to perform its most difficult maneuver, a phase advance. It's trying to cram its natural 24.2-hour cycle into a compressed 21-hour window for that travel day. This biological resistance is the feeling of eastward jet lag. Your SCN has a literal speed limit. Research on resynchronization shows that, on average, the human body clock can delay itself, or shift westward, by about 92 minutes per day. However, it can only advance itself, or shift eastward, by a mere 57 minutes per day. This isn't about willpower, it's a hardwired limitation in the neural machinery of the SCN. It means that for every hour of time zone change, it takes roughly one full day to recover. But the math is worse for going east. Crossing 6 time zones eastward could take more than a week to fully recover, while the same trip westward might take only 4 or 5 days. This temporal confusion cascades through your entire hormonal system. Two key players are melatonin and cortisol. Melatonin, the hormone of darkness, tells your body it's time to sleep. Cortisol, your stress and activity hormone, peaks in the morning to wake you up. When you fly east, your SCN is still on your old time. It might be 8 a.m. in your new location, but your SCN thinks it's 5 a.m. So it's still pumping out melatonin when it should be releasing cortisol. You feel groggy, slow, and mentally foggy because your internal chemistry is completely out of sync with the world around you. The SCN isn't the only clock. Nearly every organ in your body, from your liver to your gut to your muscles, contains its own set of peripheral clocks. These local clocks are normally synchronized by the SCN, like an orchestra following its conductor. But when the SCN is confused, it sends out erratic signals. Your liver clock, which controls metabolism, might still be on your home time, while your SCN is trying to adjust to the new time. This internal desynchronization is why jet lag feels like a full-body experience. It's not just your brain that's tired, your entire system is in temporal disarray. Your gut is particularly sensitive to this chaos. The clocks in your digestive system are strongly influenced by meal times. When you fly east and eat dinner at 7 p.m. local time, your gut clock might think it's only 4 p.m. and isn't prepared to digest a large meal. This mismatch between your eating schedule and your gut's readiness is a major cause of the indigestion and discomfort common with jet lag. Your organs are essentially living in a different time zone from your mouth, a conflict that can only be resolved once the master SCN conductor gets its own rhythm back.
Monotony has grown fast. Nearly 2,700 people have watched in the last few weeks, yet less than 0.03% are subscribed. It would mean a lot if you joined by hitting subscribe. And again, thanks for watching.